Welcome to the Golden Valley Light Railway video platform. This is a stopbook series video. Ruston 222068/43, Berry Hill. Let's take a look around the Ruston Locomotive, Berry Hill, that we have at the GVLR. Berry Hill is a Ruston 20DL locomotive and was built in 1943 for the Ministry of Supply during the Second World War at Ruston's Boltham Works in Lincoln, Lincolnshire, United Kingdom. There were 1,198 of this type built in total between 1942 and 1963. They are generally referred to as slope-sided or MOS types. The loco is fitted with Ruston's own 2VSO engine and their patented constant mesh 3-speed gearbox, where the clutch and gear change are combined in one lever. The loco weighs 2 3/4 tons and measures 9 feet and 1/2 inch overall, with a wheelbase of 2 feet 7.5 inches. As we move around the back of the locomotive again, you can see the large, red-painted cast weight fitted to the frames. That incorporates a pin-style coupler with 2 height settings. Notice also that there is a toolbox built into the rear bodywork, which hinges up towards the front. I have paused the video here and we will look at the driver's controls. The driver sits on the steel pan seat that is fixed to the gearbox with a spring. This lever with the ratchet is the locomotive brake. It is currently held on by the ratchet. It would need to be released towards us for the locomotive to be able to move. This lever is the direction of travel control lever, forwards or backwards. The lettering says RAD, meaning towards the radiator for forwards, or cab, toward the cab, for reverse. The center position where it currently is neutral, no gear selected. This lever is the combined clutch and gear selector. There are 3 speeds, with 1 being the lowest and 3 the top speed. I have now moved around to the other side of the locomotive, and we will pause the video again to reveal the final controls that were previously hidden from view. We have the throttle lever that controls the engine speed. It has a ratchet so a steady speed can be maintained. In the center is the sander control. This would be used to help the driving wheels to grip the rails. This pull knob with the red painted end is the engine stop. It is used to shut down the engine. And then, this gauge is the gearbox oil pressure gauge. And finally, this is the fuel tank. Beside the arrow is the black filler cap. As I then pan around, you can see better the brake lever ratchet, the gear selector gate, the black painted gearbox oil filler cap, and neatly tucked under the seat is the red painted starting handle. Painted upon the side frames is the loco's number. Then you can see the opening engine covers. With the covers lifted, we can then see, towards the front, down at the side of the crankcase, the fuel filter with the supply and feed pipes coming from it. As we pan out a bit, you can see the whole 2-cylinder Ruston diesel engine. Opening the cover on the other side lets us see into this side of the engine. You can see the 2 exhaust pipes, the water pipes going to and from the radiator, and the engine oil filter, and the cast maker's plate upon the cylinder side. At the front of the engine, the cooling radiator, in behind the grills, has an engine-driven fan. It's hard to see but the blades are just visible, and then as we pan out, you can see the black radiator filler cap at its top. Finally, in case you were wondering, the brass plates upon the gearbox that you may have seen earlier are just a patent number and some servicing instructions. We are now going to look at the locomotive's history. We shall start with this Google Earth historical image from the year 2000. this is Berry Hill Park in Mansfield, Nottinghamshire, in the United Kingdom. To the right of the red baize running track you can just make out another oval shape, marked with a slightly different tone to the grass. What left that mark? If we then look at this enlargement from a 1974 OS 1 to 10,000 scale map, displayed here with the consent of the National Library of Scotland, you can see the oval shape marked. If you look in the map key, to the left, under the heading of railways, you can see that the dashed cross-marked line indicates narrow-gauge track. So it was a railway built in the park, purely for recreation. In this black and white photo from the Chad newspaper's archive, reproduced with the permission of National World Publishing, you can see members of the public enjoying a ride on the railway in 1966 at the Miners' Gala. The Miners' Galas were held once a year in Mansfield's Berry Hill Park. In 1954, the National Union of Mineworkers donated £5,000 for park developments, which included a new bandstand, and we believe the construction of the railway, ahead of the first gala to be held there, but we can't find a definitive date. Do you know when the railway was built? Please leave us a comment if you do. In these following 6 photos you can also see the oval of track in action. The first 4, provided by one of our GVLR members, are from 1988, with the last 2, again provided by another GVLR member, being from 1989. They all show the locomotive Berry Hill, pulling passengers in 2-man riders, around the oval of track in Berry Hill Park, at that year's Mansfield show. The shows had grown out of the annual Miners' Galas, which had ran from 1954 to 1983. Of interest, you can see the footbridge that gave access to the center of the track, and in the last picture, the shed where the loco was kept, being used as a tunnel on gala day. These last 2 pictures show the oval of track in December 1995, just before it was lifted by volunteers from the GVLR. The locomotive, man riders, shed and footbridge had all been donated to us by the NUM and NCB. It took a number of weekends of hard work to move everything to our Swanwick Junction site. The next 4 pictures show the locomotive Berry Hill at the GVLR in the late 1990s, being used during the construction of the track, down through the country park, to Newlands Inn Station. In its early days with us, to keep it running as a vital piece of construction plant, it had new bevel gears in its reverser gearbox, and the engine had considerable work to replace worn main bearing shells. In the last picture it is heading a train of 3 side-tip, ballast wagons. I am going to end this video here with a final picture of Berry Hill, as it sits outside in the early summer sun of 2025, ready for shunting or use on the line. Further information on Berry Hill, plus comprehensive information upon each of the 2 steam locomotives, the 19 diesel and 2 battery electric locomotives, plus the 11 coaches and 34 wagons that currently have a home at the GVLR, can be found in our new stockbook publication. It has 40 pages with 45 full color quality photos that cover the locomotives plus the notable coaches and wagons. It is available to purchase online via our website. I have put a link to it in the description to this video. That concludes this stockbook series video about the Ruston 20DL locomotive named Berry Hill at the Golden Valley Light Railway. Don't forget to like the video by clicking the thumbs up icon, and if you want, leave us a comment and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow.